Welcome back. Back on the road today. Take a ride with me. We're gonna talk about some stuff.
Kenneth English.
Car clubs. Hot topic. Something hot, you know. A lot of people doing that. It's back around. I feel like it's kind of like a rite of passage. It's like something you need to be involved with a car club once in your life. At least once. Maybe even at most once. I was in, I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, kind of 4. Anyway, I was in a car club 4 times. Give you my experience. Bittersweet for me. It's not something that I would recommend for myself anymore. Once you reach a certain age, the car club thing should have run its course. Back in early 90s, I got myself a Volkswagen, like I said before, and I learned how to work on it, and I ended up meeting some other guys with Volkswagens, and we decided to start hanging out together. We formed a little club called Backlight. And the whole little thing about that club was we kept a little blue light hanging off our back bumper. So we would always know each other in traffic. We'd always be able to see each other. Anyway, local law enforcement didn't seem to like that too much. So that club kind of didn't last long. You know, it was just hanging out, basically, right? No membership, no rule book, none of that crap. We had to do something else. So anyway, we ended up meeting up with some other guys with Volkswagens back in the day. And like this is like 95, 94, 95. And we met up with some other guys pretty big in the game out here in LA doing their little thing. And we started a club all together. We started a club called Dub Life. I had 3 Volkswagens at the time. I do believe it was 3. And I had my Beetle, my van, and one of my gears that never really, I think my 66 gear never got off the ground. But anyway, that club was my first experience with big fat rule books, big fat titles, and mandatory stuff. And dues. We just started throwing stuff out there. We was like the federal government. We was like, more rules, more of this, more of that. We gonna do all this big stuff. Regulate, right? We even had a sergeant at arms. You understand me? I mean, like, it was supposed to be somebody that kept us all together. Now we dealing, mind you, this is in South Central, well, not South Central, mostly Compton and LA, right? Everybody in the club, it was mostly a black club. So, you know, we doing black people stuff. You know, it was a couple of Mexicans, and I think we had a white person. But for the most part, it was black folk. And yeah, we needed a sergeant at arms. You know how we tend to get sometimes, my people. But it was going along pretty good, pretty okay, you know, making friends, and we doing a lot of stuff together. We going on parades, we going to meetups and shows and this, that, and the other thing, right? Until, well, mind you, I got put in. I didn't start this club, so I was not the president. I was not one of the higher ups, but I was the road captain and the club mechanic. So, you know, I had a little background in Volkswagens. I was doing my thing. I knew more about Volkswagens than most of the other people in that club. So, you know, I was always helping them out with stuff. And we was, you know, spend a weekend in my crib doing engine swaps or whatever, right? So, one of the club members, the treasurer, wanted me to give him help him out. He needed a new motor. His motor went to shit. So, I knew a shop that did, you know, they rebuilt Volkswagen motors. You don't really buy brand new Volkswagen motors. You rebuild them. Unless you got the big money. I did that once. But anyway. So I got him a shop, and I took his motor out, took it to my man, and we put together a motor for him. And I gave him back the motor. I said, okay, now we got to break it in slowly. You know, you can't go out there and dog it. Anyway, he proceeds to go out there and dog it day one. Night one, when I gave him the motor, he's out there trying to do burnouts and all this other stuff. Anyway, he ended up throwing that motor. That one fried. Somehow, I don't know what happened. I still to this day don't know how it went down. But that one went down. The fool in my club, my homie, right? Club from day one. He sues me, takes me to court, and wants me to replace his motor. We go to small claims court. He wins. I guess I'm like, what the? I appealed it. He won again, right? Because I didn't know what I was doing. I know appeal is procedural. It's not because you don't agree with the verdict. But anyway, I appealed it. The procedures were all fine, so they upheld it. And I'm supposed to pay him $2,000. Now, mind you, I don't have no money at this time. I'm sitting here driving a school bus every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm still living at home, my early 20s. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to spread my wings. I ain't got $2,000 for this cat. So, I don't know. I ran away from that for a long time. Anyway, I got my feelings hurt. I was just simply hurt. I was done. I couldn't believe my own club member sued me as if I built the motor, but the judge said that I was supposed to go and sue the guy who built the motor. So like, he couldn't do it, so then we had to come down. I was supposed to go down the line. But anyway, I'm not gonna sue my man that built the motor. It just wasn't going down like that. So anyway, I walked away from that club. That was like July 22nd, 1996. I remember that because it was my boy's birthday party I went to that night after I told him to kiss my ass. I went to his birthday party after that. And I met my wife shortly after that. So she missed out on that whole experience. Anyway, time goes on. I'm rolling Volkswagens, I'm rolling Audis. I never really joined any Audi club, nothing like that. I was a member of VW Club of Los Angeles. Now that was like an online thing. You just basically pay a little registration and they have big shows here and there. You'll go and they'll buy your food for that day and whatever. Just kickback. It wasn't really a real club. It was just kind of an association. But did all of that. That's 2 down. Well, I started getting into, like I said, I had an Audi. I got my Jeep after I got the Audi because I wanted an all-wheel drive vehicle. It kind of linked me to it. So I got my Jeep and I started hitting the forums and getting into the Mopar world, right? So now I got my Jeep and I got my wife a Magnum SRT8, the one we got now. Like, this is 2009 at this point, right? I got my Jeep in 08, got the Magnum in 09. And I started meeting people and dealing with folks and, good people. Everybody I met was cool. I loved everybody. Everybody loved me. It was great. It was smooth. So then I started hanging out with my peoples, and then I started hanging out with Mopar 360. And I met them online. I met Trish online. I met her husband. I met Juan Novato, all these good people. Great times, right? And they said they got a club and all we do is kick it. That's it. We just hang out with each other. No rules, no dues, no crap. I said, I swore off clubs after Dub Life. I swore them off, 100%. But I like these people. These are grown people. It's another time in my life, right? And I was like 20-something then. I'm like 30-something now. So let's do it. I love it. It's grown folks with their cars. People a little more diverse crowd, right? Grown folk, military folk, working folk. I loved it. And so we would hang out. We would go do shows, go on cruises, this, that, and the other thing. It was great. It was lively. It was fun. Good experience. Well, over time, right, the leaders of that club kind of started branching out, moving away from it. So I ended up kind of taking over the leadership in this area. As far as when we go to Springfest, I would, gather everybody together and kind of plan out the meetup and roll in and this, that, and other thing. Nothing big. I wasn't no real responsibility, nothing like that. But we started to, Southern California area, Mopar 360, kind of started to separate. And then eventually it got to the point where it's kind of like we wasn't doing anything anymore. So a few of us, maybe 4 of us, decided we're gonna put something together and we're gonna start doing shows. And we're gonna start throwing shows, throwing meets, because Mopar 360 is really not doing nothing no more. Everybody's spread out, people moving across the country, this and the thing, you know. So then the 4 of us got together, and then in comes Modern Mopar Movement. That's the name I figured out. I threw up the Instagram page, and we started doing things. We started throwing a regular meet at Hooters at Angel Stadium, right behind Angel Stadium. Loved that. That was the time of my life. I mean, the 4 or 5 of us, we used to throw these meets. And I mean, people would come out, all the local clubs would come out, you know what I'm saying? It was support, it was great. Good old time, right? Well, eventually, one of the members, one of us 5, was kind of a old school. He'd been around for a long time. He was around before I was around in the Mopar game, and then he disappeared for a while. He came back, wanted to get cracking again, so we started to get it cracking. He said, let's go ahead and make this a chapter of Mopar 360. Instead of being Modern Mopar Movement, we made it a chapter of Mopar 360. I was hesitant at first because I'm like, I don't want to do the club thing. I don't want to do that. I just want to have shows. I just want to meet up with people, meet people, kick it, go on cruises, this, that, and other thing, right? So no, but anyway, so he kind of convinced us. We all threw in. And we all got our badges back. Mopar 360 SoCal Mopar 360, whatever you want to call it, right? So then we start doing things. And I mean, we turn it up a little bit better than before, right? We doing more stuff, we going places, getting sponsorships, this, that, and the other thing. Then we had a regular, now mind you, Mopar 360 back in the day, and SoCal LX used to be, they would run Beach Burger. Actually, it was SoCal LX that run it. My man Tom would run it. And every Friday night, first Friday of the month, we'd all go down to Beach Burger in Huntington Beach and just pack the place out, right? Food, nighttime, you know, car hop type service, whatever. That was great. It lasted for a long time till the spot, Beach Burger, sold itself. They sold that spot, and we kind of lost it. We didn't have nowhere to go after that. We kind of tried other places, it just never took off no more. So years later, I'm like, let's do that again. Let's bring that back. Because everybody came to that, especially during Springfest. Everybody came from out of town, would come to Beach Burger the weekend, the Friday night before Springfest. And it was like a pre-party, right? So I said, let's bring that back. We still having Springfest at this time. We need a regular meet that we can count on every single month. So we did it. I came up with the name First Friday. That's what we called it. That's what it was, and that's what we did. Every first Friday, we met up at the Hooters. It was great. It was fun. Everything was lit. We outgrew Hooters. We moved out to
Duke's Cafe
out in Placentia. Big spot. The whole cafe loved us being there. We packed it out. Everybody went in there and ate beforehand. We had the little parking lot kind of all to ourselves. It was secluded, but everybody knew about it. It was a great spot. Great spot. The president of Mopar 360 SoCal decided he wanted to get bigger and go full club. We talking titles, rules, mandatory this, meetings. Now Mopar 360 as the original club never allowed any dues. So we never did take dues. Never. So it was everything but dudes we were doing. You know what I mean? We had the titles, we had this person, that person. We brought in some new people, and it turned into a get the club bigger at all costs type deal. So we're trying to bring in people all the time, right? And it's kind of like, we're bringing in people, and then we're also losing people at the same time. People coming in, the president gets a bug up his ass about them, they're gone, right? This seemed to be a routine, a pattern. So, you know, and then mine's just like, okay, don't talk to those people no more. Delete them from your Instagram and all sorts of stuff. Block them. They're not part of us. They got crazy and they, you know, they're out now. I never did that. I was never one to do that. So I didn't do that. There was a couple of people that left on shady terms, you know what I'm saying? But mainly, it was almost always the president getting mad at somebody thinking they was doing something, right? I mean, our president, he had made some good friends. I mean, they got close. A handful of people at a time, you know, here and there, somebody would get real close. I mean, they would be doing everything together, right? Two of them everywhere, families, going on trips together, this, that, another thing. And then one day, president got a bug up his ass about that dude. Said that he was giving our logo to another club and whatever, right? Kicked him out. Well, no, actually, he left. He was feeling the vibe. He didn't like the things that were going on, so he ended up leaving. But I mean, the two of them really ain't spoke since over this club shit. It happened a bunch of times. There was a few times I was able to talk my man down off the cliff and say, "You crazy, stop it, dude. They not doing that." My other dude, my dog, that we started with, the original crew, the original 5, right? My man and the president were boys. They've been boys from the beginning, right? From 06, when these cars first came out, they was tight. Family tight, right? I mean, family tight. President got a bug up his ass about him more than once, like 3 times. They broke up, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't talking, I ain't dealing with you. It was out, came back, he made up, apologies, and all this, blah, blah, blah. Final time, he got a bug up his ass about him, saying that he was telling other people his business. President was selling his car, getting another car, and one of the other dudes that we used to kick it with that he put out worked at the dealership where that was going down, and President accused Sid of talking to that dude and getting him not to get a good deal on his trade-in and whoopie waps. I mean, it was ignorant, highly ignorant. Just accusations flying. Now, these boys have been tight like this for a long time. Family tight. They families was each other's families too. He got a bug up his ass and stopped speaking to dog. And then he ain't talked since. This is like 2-3 years ago. Okay. He also did me like that 3 times. And I mean, we made back up like, man, I'm sorry. We ain't never gonna do this again. Oh man, I was crazy. I don't know what I was thinking about. I know you didn't do that now. Put me through all kind of hell, right? 3 times. 4th time was when I missed the club meeting. Mopar 360 SoCal. I missed the club meeting. And in the club meeting, and got in together, they wanted to start taking dues. They wanted money. It was time to get some money up under this club because we wasn't getting no money in. We wasn't buying. We didn't have the banners. We didn't have the cool stuff. They wasn't getting no money in, so they kind of took up a little thing. Said we're gonna start. We're gonna find a way to pay dues, right? So anyway, I read the notes of the meeting on the chat, and I come in like, whoa, stop, we can't do that. We can't do that, y'all. Like, I've been in Mopar 360 longer than all of them. Okay, I was there before ever in it. Not in it. Definitely wasn't in it. But they was all like, we gonna start doing dues. We're basically gonna do a whole thing. I'm like, wait, you can't do that because this is Mopar 360. We're franchised. We can't do that. We got rules we gotta abide by. I'm pretty sure at this point, but I'm not 100% sure. So I said, let's wait. Let's talk about this Saturday morning. This is on Friday night. Saturday morning, we gonna sit down and talk. Me and the president, we gonna sit down and talk, and we gonna get some money. I was gonna put my own money up. That was the plan. I was like, I'll just start paying for everything. I'll buy banners. I'll buy whatever we need, right? Anyway, I told him that on the chat Friday night. I went, before we had our meeting on Saturday, I went to the main president of the club, Juan, the big dog, the head of Mopar 360, who had been there, who jumped me in, basically, right? He's still head over the nationwide club. We're just a chapter. I went to Juan on text message, on Messenger. I said, Juan, what do you think? Do you think we should be taking dues? What's your policy on dues? What is Mopar 360's policy on dues? I'm sure, but I'm not sure. He comes back yo, we don't do dues because there's too many legal issues you run into, 501c3, non-profit, you got, can't do it. I said, okay, good, that's what I want to know. Then he said, oh, who trying to do that? I'm like, yeah, trying to do that, but don't worry about it, just chill out. Don't worry about it, don't start no fuff, because I know this dude got an ego that's fragile, and he can't take nobody talking crazy. And coming at him any kind of way, he will sulk, he will cry, he will get mad, he will run off. Don't say nothing. By the time I could tell him that, Juan had already put on the main club page, if you thinking about doing dues, go find another club, fuck you, get out. I said, Juan, why'd you do that, homie? Shit. So anyway, the shitstorm starts, right? So now I go back on my chat, on the SoCal 360 chat, and I see, oh, well, Will Hemi done ratted everybody out, so fuck him. And anyway, I'm quitting this club and I'm starting another club. President says this on the chat. I'm out. President's out. He didn't throw me out because he really couldn't throw me out because I went under him. But I'm quitting the club. I'm gone because Will Hemi did this. He sunk the ship. La la la. Never said nothing to me beforehand. Never told me nothing. Never said nothing. Just threw me under the bus with all the club members. Now, I go back onto the thing. Wait, I'm trying to stop. We can't let this become a dudes thing because it's gonna get ugly. And I had to ask the president. I didn't want him to say nothing. I was gonna come talk to you about it later. But anyway, all that shit just went under the bridge, and people start dropping off that chat, and eventually I get blocked from it. So at this point, club's over. Right, Mopar 360 is no more. President went and started a new club. By Saturday morning, he had a new club ready. Now, I'm pretty sure he had wanted to do this all the time already. He was already working on this, and that's what he wanted to do, and this was the way to kind of make it happen, or it's like the straw that broke the camel's back, right? So, I'm sitting here reading all this stuff, watching my club. I really enjoyed this club. I love this club. I love the people that was in it. Still do. I'm watching this thing just blow up in my face, okay? I'm hurt. I mean, I feel that. I feel it. I feel that. Every time President came after me for something, it hurt my soul. I mean, you sit there and you look at this and you're like, dang, dog. You can't believe it, man. I mean, like, you got no loyalty, no nothing. I mean, you can't give me 5 minutes to say maybe he didn't mean it that way. Let me go talk to this brother and see what the hell. None of that. I'm out. Quit. So anyway, screw it. That was about the last time in a club. Okay? Clubs are personalities. They are people. They are ways and means, right? So it's tough. It can be tough when you're dealing with people. And there are a lot of cool clubs out there. There are very nice clubs I've seen. I mean, West Coast Modern Mopar. You know what I'm saying? Only Mopars. I mean, dude. And then there was another club that started like after we started. Mopar SoCal. Love them. Run by my dude, Sean. Started that club after we started. And, you know, they grew. Did their little thing, and they blew up. And, I mean, they made a couple of enemies here and there. You know, a couple people ended up having to leave. But for the most part, they have held it together, and they are a flourishing club. And it's good to see that. And, you know, and I mean, I know a couple of people that have left there, and they might not have the best things to say about it. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. I keep my peoples separate from this shit. As far as club stuff, it comes and goes. Okay, you're gonna have fallouts. You're gonna have reunitings, reunity, whatever you wanna call it. People gonna make up, and people gonna fight. And I cannot sit here and stop talking to somebody because of something that happened in the club, especially because if it didn't happen to me. You know what I mean? Because somebody else fell out with you, then I can't talk to you. There was a lot of that crap going on in my club, and I didn't like it. But for the most part, It's an experience, well taken, well deserved. I am 100% a solo rider from here on out. Okay, this is no mas. I can't do it no more. I am too old. I'm 51. I am too old for the for the high school playground stuff of these people getting their feelings hurt and constantly be paranoid of betrayal, and they're trying to make money off of this stuff, trying to make a club into a business proposition without like putting that out at the beginning, saying, look, we gonna make some money with this, and this is how we gonna do it. And then when you do that kind of a situation, that you're gonna put this club out here to make money, that still takes rigid rules and all kind of that stuff. And it's like, you kind of take the fun out of it and you make it a job. And if that's what you want going in, fine. If you want to join a club because you want a job, you want to make money in that club, you got a job at business or something, you think you can get some customers with it, guess what? It's not going to be a fun thing. It's going to be work. And if you just want, as a youngster, right, joining the club put you up on game. I mean, you learn etiquette, you learn what not to do, what to do, you get inspiration for your first big build or whatever, you know what I mean? You learn your way around. It's a good thing, you know, and you can let the older cats that have been in the club longer, let them guide you, show you what's going on, and I guarantee you will outgrow that club. Most people outgrow their club. Most people do, for one reason or another. I mean, every once in a while, you know, you got the old heads with the old cars, and they have clubs that have been around for 200 years. You know what I'm saying? And they stay in it till the day they die. And, you know, I respect that. That's great. If you can find that kind of club, good luck. But they are just like people. Some are good, some are bad. I'm solo. Will be solo from here on out. I do my own thing. You know, but I still love to hit the shows. I love to meet people. I love to meet new people, talk cars. I might not remember your name, but I will remember your car. So if you see me, say what's up. You know what I'm saying? Give me dap, give me a 5, give me a, you know what I'm saying? You can give me a hug. I don't care. Just holler at me. You know what I'm saying? If I'm out at the club meet and I'm taping, walk up to me, I'm gonna put you on tape. We gonna talk. You know what I'm saying? So either way it goes, I love the movement. I love the atmosphere. That's why I haven't gotten out of LA yet, really. I mean, it's gonna be different because LA got the car culture that's just absolutely crazy, and I love it. But the state's going to hell, so I need to get out of it. But until then, I'll be around doing my thing. I just won't be in a club. There will be no badges on any of my cars from here on out. I love my friends that are still in the club, that are still in other clubs. I love y'all, and keep on doing it and keep turning up your car, because I'm gonna come check it out and I'm gonna shoot it. I'm gonna do video of you and your car when I can. As soon as I catch you standing still, I'm gonna start shooting. So be ready. Anyway, until then, we'll be keeping Hemi under. All right.